Streaming right now at 5:30, tariff turmoil, a court clash tonight. The Supreme Court striking down the president's sweeping tariff plan, prompting a deeply disappointed response from the White House.
Foreign countries that have been ripping us off for years are ecstatic. They're so happy. And they're dancing in the streets, but they won't be dancing for long.
President Trump moving forward with a new 10% global tariff, his emergency measure, and how long these new trade taxes are set to last. Also breaking tonight, Capitol honor denied. House Speaker Mike Johnson rejecting a request for the late Reverend Jesse Jackson to lie in honor at the U.S. Capitol. The reasoning behind the decision and how the civil rights icon will be remembered. Idol star accused, investigators say a former reality TV singer reported a burglary before police found his wife dead inside their home. The new evidence leading to murder charges. Creative catch, an accused criminal thought he was joining a street celebration, but he was actually dancing with the police. The wild video of the undercover sting. Egg prices plummet. Your grocery bill might be getting a break tonight as egg prices hit a new low. We break down the numbers and why experts warn this surplus savings might not last long. Ice time returns. The River Center cooling down tonight as the Zydeco return for their first home series since January. Details on discounted tickets and how you can cheer on the home team all weekend long. BAFTA big names, American blockbusters sweeping the nominations at this year's British Academy Awards. The list of top contenders and how you can watch the ceremony. And winter returns. If you enjoyed the recent warm-up, you'll want to grab your coat again. Jeff Morrow tracking a weekend cold front that will have you bundling up.
You're watching WAFB's streaming newscast, live and local, with Dion Guillory. This is 9 News at 5:30.
Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing, and I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed, for not having the courage to do what's right for our country.
Tonight, we're off the top with that major developing news. President Donald Trump planning to impose a temporary global tariff after the U.S. Supreme Court, including some of his own appointees, chose to strike down his tariff plan. Tonight, WFB's Pete Zampa starts us off from Washington.
President Donald Trump has often boasted about the billions of dollars raised by his tariffs, including Thursday night in Georgia. But Friday morning, the Supreme Court ruled that those tariffs on imports from virtually every country are illegal. President Trump last April became the first president to claim that a 1977 law, the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, allowed him to unilaterally impose tariffs without congressional approval. But writing for a 6-3 majority, Chief Justice John Roberts ruled that the law, known as IEEPA, does not authorize the president to impose those tariffs. Roberts wrote, the president asserts the extraordinary power to unilaterally impose tariffs of unlimited amount, duration, and scope. In light of the breadth, history, and constitutional context of that asserted authority, he must identify clear congressional authorization to exercise it. Roberts went on to write, had Congress intended to convey the distinct and extraordinary power to impose tariffs, it would have done so expressly. 3 conservative justices, Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, and Brett Kavanaugh, dissented. The decision is a huge blow to President Trump, who warned that a decision against the tariffs would be what he called the biggest threat in history to U.S. national security and would literally destroy the United States of America. Following the decision, the president on Truth Social writing, the Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing. I am ashamed of certain members of the court for not having the courage to do what is right for our country. He also spoke to reporters in the White House briefing room.
This was an important case to me, more as a symbol of economic national security, and also, I would say, just for our country itself.
Tariffs are paid by importers, and for thousands of businesses, large and small, Friday's ruling does not answer the question, will they receive a refund for paying those tariffs? The president said his administration will now try to reimpose those tariffs using other legal authorities. Such a move will most certainly invite more challenges in federal court. At the White House, I'm John Decker.
Also at the White House, President Trump getting the news as he met with governors from across the nation this morning, including Governor Jeff Landry, who you may have spotted in the corner there. Our team catching up with the governor to get his reaction as he learned the news as well.
It was unfortunate that the Supreme Court came out with a bad ruling at that time, because I think we're going to have a great meeting.
Now, the governor also expressing those thoughts on social media, posting there can be no free trade without fair trade. I'm confident the president and his team will continue to fight for a stronger economy that best serves our nation and her people. Other lawmakers weighing in tonight, Congressman Cleo Fields on X, calling on the administration to comply fully with this ruling, to stop looking for workarounds that would simply recreate what the court has struck down, and to work with Congress on a legitimate path forward. Congressman Troy Carter calling President Trump's tariffs reckless and illegal on social media. He added, SCOTUS confirmed what we all knew. He has no authority to impose what amounts to a tax on the American people. This is a win for small business owners, farmers, working families, and everyday Louisianians. Louisiana Congressman and Speaker of the House Mike Johnson posting on X saying the president's use of tariffs has brought in billions of dollars and created immense leverage for America's trade strategy and for securing strong, reciprocal, America First trade agreements with countries that had been taking advantage of American workers for decades. He added Congress and the administration will determine the best path forward in the coming weeks. Tonight, the House Speaker is also in the news after denying a request for civil rights icon Reverend Jesse Jackson to lie in honor in the U.S. Capitol. Johnson's office says it received a request from Jackson's family to have his remains lie in honor at the Capitol, but denied that request because of the precedent that the space is typically reserved for former presidents, the military, and selected officials. Jackson, you may remember, died earlier this week at the age of 84. Tonight, Iran is on deadline, with the president saying Iran has 10 to 15 days to make a deal or, quote, bad things will happen. The U.S. is continuing its military buildup in that region. WAFB learning tonight that sources have been telling the national media that Iran has offered some new proposals concerning its nuclear program. Other sources telling the national media that the U.S. military is prepared to strike Iran as early as this weekend, but the president has yet to make a final call. Also developing tonight, the Trump administration announcing that all truckers and bus drivers will be required to take commercial driver's license tests in English. Administration officials saying that the move is being made to make sure drivers understand English well enough to read road signs and communicate with law enforcement. The administration further blaming drivers who were not proficient in speaking or reading English for a number of deadly crashes across the nation. British authorities freeing Andrew Mountbatten Windsor nearly 12 hours after his arrest tied to the Epstein case. Formerly known as Prince Andrew, he was taken into custody on Thursday on suspicion of misconduct in public office. The arrest of the former prince is the first senior royal arrest since 1649. There have not been any public statements made by Andrew since the incident. Tonight, the estate of Jeffrey Epstein has agreed to a settlement of up to $35 million with its accusers. If a judge approves the agreement, it will resolve all claims against Epstein's estate and his co-executors, Darren Endike and Richard Kahn. His estate has already paid more than $50 million to claimants. Tonight's families are still cleaning up and putting the pieces together after a rare winter tornado outbreak in the Midwest, leading to extensive damage across multiple states. The storms hit late last night and left dozens of homes destroyed or damaged. Take a look at the damage for yourself. These tornadoes were not the only impacts for communities in the region. The same winter storm dumped nearly a foot of snow in parts of Nebraska, leading to dangerous road conditions in Omaha. Tonight, we're learning more about the former American Idol contestant now accused of killing his wife in Ohio. 39-year-old Caleb Flynn is accused of shooting his wife Ashlyn Flynn earlier this week. He now faces a murder charge, 2 counts of felonious assault, and 2 counts of tampering with evidence. Police say they initially went to the home where a burglary was reported and found Flynn and the couple's 2 children. Ashlyn was later found dead. The investigation remains ongoing. Flynn appeared on American Idol in 2013. Tonight, a crew of creative cops are catching a lot of attention for a slick scheme to catch an accused criminal. Take a look. This man in Thailand thought he was celebrating by street dancing with this crew, but it turns out it was undercover cops hoping to nab a suspect. The man was reportedly suspected of stealing expensive items from a home. Police resorted to going undercover as lion dancers to sneak up on him after he reportedly dodged arrest multiple times. We're learning new details tonight about a deadly wreck in Jackson County involving a prisoner transport van. The Mississippi Highway Patrol identifying the two people killed as 32-year-old Michael Valera and 34-year-old William Rodman. Valera was driving the prisoner transport van. Now, there were 4 people in that van when it crashed with a utility truck on I-10 Wednesday morning. Charlie King was headed to Baton Rouge when his dash cam recorded the deadly wreck. When he saw the crash unfold, he pulled over to help.
When I saw it hit that upright pole and heard the loud sound, it had to be bad because the vehicle disintegrated. I didn't know it was that bad until I got out of my truck and ran back there. So I had to come back and get my fire extinguisher. The fire started out small, but by the time I got back, it was too far gone to put out with fire extinguishers.
King is also a retired mechanic, and he says the transport van was putting out an excessive amount of exhaust, and he wonders if something was wrong with the engine before the crash. All of this is still under investigation tonight. Tonight, we're learning the winners of the 2026 Product of the Year Awards. The categories of winners span from food and beverage, household products, personal care, pet care, and more. The winning products were selected based on the opinions of 40,000 American shoppers through an independent national study. Some of them are there on your screen, like Charmin Forever Roll winning for Best Bathroom Tissue and Tide Original Liquid Detergent winning in the laundry category. Next tonight, it's time to check your fridges yet again. This time, fried rice sold at Trader Joe's locations across the country are being pulled from shelves. Listen to this. Nearly 3.4 million pounds of this chicken fried rice may contain glass. Most of the affected packages have Best By dates of September 2026 through November 2026. At least 4 people have complained of finding glass in their food. No injuries have been reported, but if you do have this, avoid eating it for now, or just throw it away, or either bring it back to the store where you bought it. Tonight across the U.S., one common item you'll find in your fridge is a lot more affordable. The cost of eggs has plummeted as farms continue to grow their flocks to make up for birds lost to the avian flu outbreak. The average price of a dozen eggs is now $2.58. That's according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. But it's not all good news. Experts say the drop in prices is part of a surplus of eggs as farmers race to rebuild their flocks and sell off the excess eggs at a loss. As things stabilize and more farmers go out of business because of those losses, the price could go back up. Breaking news tonight, reality TV star Nicole Snooki Polizzi sharing a scary health update revealing she's been diagnosed with stage 1 cervical cancer. The Jersey Shore star taking to TikTok just in the last couple of hours, saying she had just found out after a doctor's appointment. She says the results were not what she hoped for, but says her doctors found it early. Snooki saying in the video she has been staying on top of her screenings and urging fans to do the same, explaining that pap smears can detect abnormal cells before they turn cancerous. Tonight, we're introducing you to a Dakota mother who is giving back and hoping to raise awareness after her 2-year-old child died of sudden unexplained death in children, also known as SUDC. Erica Lee says she put her young daughter, little Catherine, down for a nap. When 5 o'clock came around, she was still sleeping, and then she later found that Catherine was just unresponsive. A full investigation revealed that Catherine died from SUDC, something that affects about 500 kids each year in the United States.
Sudden unexplained death in children is more rare than SIDS. When someone ages 1 to 18 years of age dies, and after a full investigation, there's no cause that's determined. One of the most catastrophic individual tragedies that a family will ever face.
But the mom turned tragedy into action, starting Catherine's Toy Box. The new partnership provides backpacks filled with toys, games, and other items for kids and teens. In giving, Erica says she finds healing and a special connection to her daughter.
Those first few months were very hard, just being not only postpartum, but also losing my daughter. I needed to do something in my daughter's honor And it just came to me one day. I was like, I want to give back.
And while you never want to see a family go through that, the fact that there could be a positive outcome and potentially help other families through this is just remarkable.
Erica says although she's not met any of the kids who have received a backpack, she wants them to know she cares. Winter chill as we continue streaming here at 5:30. The spring-like temperatures are taking a hike as a new cold front moves in this weekend. Jeff Morrow will show us how long this winter blast is expected to stick around.